happy Easter. Hope you're enjoying your bank holiday Monday. Manchester United certainly are, because they could go 6 points clear in the title race tonight. They lead Coventry City by 1-0 at Old Trafford at the moment, and that goal has been scored by Eric Cantona, his 7th in 8 games. Now, the game is still in progress after a serious leg injury to Coventry defender David Boost, a compound fracture after just 81 seconds of the match. He was stretchered off, but the process has held the game up by almost 10 minutes. Newcastle, remember, play this evening at Ewood Park. Now, at Anfield, Stan Collymore has scored his 18th of the season as Liverpool beat West Ham by 2-0. John Barnes, the other scorer for the Reds, with his first since August. And a double from Robbie Earle has helped Wimbledon to a 3-0 win over Manchester City, leaving them in trouble in the danger area. Efan Okoku scored the Dons' third. Well, the whistles are going throughout the Premiership games. Let's take a quick look on how things stand at the moment. Liverpool's slim title hopes are still alive. That Old Trafford game is the only one which is still going at the moment. Aston Villa 3, Southampton 0 at the moment. Ian Taylor, Gary Charles and Dwight York. Bolton 2, Chelsea 1. It was John Spencer who put Chelsea 1 up. John McGinley equalised for Bolton. Sasa Kurcic, a good win for the Premiership's bottom club. Now, Wimbledon 3, Manchester City 0. That's a bad one for City. And reporting from Selhurst Park now is our reporter there, Ralph Taylor.
For 40 minutes, this was one of the most dire, featureless encounters imaginable. In view of what happened in the next 12 minutes, City might well have been happy had it stayed that way. But one mistake too many from Frontsek set up a Wimbledon attack, Earle heading in with power. 2 minutes after the interval, another Earle header made it 2-0 after the defence failed to clear. And that same defence should have got the ball away again before Ekuku got the third. This win should ensure Wimbledon's safety. City in the thick of the relegation battle, and on this showing, they deserve to be.
Thanks, Ralph. Well, Manchester United are still playing. They still lead Coventry City by 1-0, but in the meantime, we'll take a full classified results on the other games.
The FA Carling Premiership, Aston Villa 3, Southampton 0. Blackburn Rovers and Newcastle United is an evening kick-off. Bolton Wanderers 2, Chelsea 1. Leeds United 1, Nottingham Forest 3. Liverpool 2, West Ham United 0. As you heard, Manchester United and Coventry City is still playing. Queen's Park Rangers 3, Everton 1. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Arsenal 0. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Middlesbrough 1. Wimbledon 3, Manchester City 0. The Ainsley Insurance League, Division 1, Derby County 6, Tranmere Rovers 2. Grimsby Town 3, Ipswich Town 1. Norwich City 2, Huddersfield Town 0. Port Vale 1, Oldham Athletic 3. Portsmouth 1, Sheffield United 2. Reading 0, Crystal Palace 2. Southend United 1, Watford 1. Sunderland 0, Charlton Athletic 0. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Barnsley 2. Division 2, Blackpool 1, Rotherham United 2. Bradford City 3, Carlisle United 1. Bristol City 1, York City 1. Crewe Alexandra 0, Swindon Town 2. Peterborough United 0, Brentford 1. Stockport County 0, Hull City 0. Wrexham 3, Walsall 0. Wycombe Wanderers 0, Oxford United 3. League Division 3, Cardiff City 1, Lincoln City 1. Darlington 0, Cambridge United 0. Doncaster Rovers 0, Gillingham 1. Exeter City 0, Hereford United 2. Fulham 2, Chester City 0. Hartlepool United 1, Wigan Athletic 2. Leyton Orient 0, Scunthorpe United 0. Mansfield Town 0, Preston North End 0. Northampton Town 2, Colchester United 1. Rochdale 0, Barnet 4. Torquay United 0, Plymouth Argyle 2. Vauxhall Conference, Bath City 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 2. Farnborough Town 1, Altrincham 1. Gateshead 4, Kidderminster Harriers 1. Kettering Town 1, Halifax Town 2. Macclesfield Town 0, Dover Athletic 1, Runcorn 1, Morecambe 3, Southport 2, Slough Town 0, Stalybridge Celtic 2, Bromsgrove Rovers 1, Stevenage Borough and Woking is a late result, Telford United 0, Welling United 0. Other pools matches: Cambridge City 0, Chelmsford City 0, Gloucester City 0, Cheltenham Town 3, Gravesend and Northfleet 1, Baldock Town 1, Hastings Town 0, Crawley Town 1, Merthyr Tydfil and Newport late result, Salisbury City 1, Dorchester Town 0, Stafford Rangers 1, Ilkeston Town 0, Sudbury Town 4, Rushden and Diamonds 1. BS Rugby and Gresley Rovers, Accrington, Stanley and Bamber Bridge, Blythe Spartans and Barrow, Buxton and Gainsborough Trinity, all late results. Merthyr Tydfil result in there, you see Merthyr Tydfil 0, Newport 1, and VS Rugby 1, Gresley Rovers 2, and Buxton 1, Gainsborough Trinity 2.
Well, we'll bring you some of the pools news in just a moment. I can tell you that it has finished 1-0 to Manchester United, so they do hold that 6 points lead. But let's take a report first from Liverpool. Their title hopes still flicker, and with the story of that game, Gerald Sinstad.
Yes, Hazel, 3 points more important than the performance. West Ham haven't won at Anfield for 32 years. Today they arrived to find a Liverpool defence without Jones, Wright, Ruddock, Babb. But it made no difference. So intense was West Ham's concentration on not giving the ball away. They spent the first half seeming afraid to risk the daring pass. By the interval, they'd had only one effort that looked remotely like a shot. Their second half improvement came too late. Two inspirational contributions by Stan Collymore had already done the damage. First a shot from 20 yards or so, low, hard and too good for Ludek McCloskey. Then a run down the left side of the area that set up John Barnes to score from an improbable angle. The Liverpool fans have been a bit restive, but this is the third game in 5 days, and the effort of last Wednesday's victory plus the psychology of Saturday's defeat may both have been relevant.
Thanks, Gerald. Well, just one goal in it at Old Trafford, but it does mean that Manchester United have stretched their lead. Newcastle, of course, do play tonight, and they have a game in hand. But with the story of that one, Tony Gilba.
Eric Cantona is carrying Manchester United almost single-handed towards the Premiership. Again, his goal, which secured the victory against Coventry, coming 3 minutes into the second half, after Manchester United had a lot of possession, but Coventry had put bodies in the way. They'd packed their goal mouth. They just made it so difficult for Manchester United to score, and in the end there was great relief that Cantona got the goal, and great relief too at the final whistle that United hung on. A game marred, one should say, by a serious injury to the Coventry player David Boost, a suspected compound fracture of the leg right at the start of the match, which saw him taken off to Hope Hospital. But Coventry's plight in the bottom three is desperate. United keep the pressure on Newcastle.
Well, that was one of the late kickoffs. Here are the other ones. In the conference, Stevenage Borough 4, Woking 0. That is the latest score, remember. And in the other pools matches, number 56, Accrington Stanley, and number 57 at Blythe Spartans. They are now results, we can tell you. So let's take the pools news as we have it. On the coupons then, 7 score draws, 7 no-score draws, and the one result to come, as I say. Telephone claims, please, no decision as yet, as you'd expect. So the 7 score draws, numbers 8, 16, 18, 21, 27, 38 and 49. And the no-score draws now, 7 of them, numbers 17, 24, 28, 33, 34, 46 and 47. Bad news for Southampton today. They have gone down by a big margin at Villa Park. Steve Lee can tell us about it.
Despite the scoreline, Villa made heavy weather of killing off an ordinary-looking Southampton side. Ian Taylor's stooping header midway through the second half rescued a game that was dying on its feet. From then on, the floodgates duly opened. Gary Charles scored his first goal for the club after a spot of brilliance from York, and York himself, complete with white boots, added a glorious third. The Saints lacked the urgency needed for a side in their predicament. Villa too were unusually ineffective until they sprang to life in the last 15 minutes. They could even have had 4 when Johnson, Townsend and Milosevic all hit the post. The 34,000 Villa faithful went home happy, but Southampton's problems continue to pile up.
Yes, they certainly do, and they're not in the top half of this Premiership table because, have a look at that, with Newcastle playing at Blackburn tonight, Manchester United have stepped up the pressure by beating Coventry City by 1-0, that Eric Cantona goal. And United now stand 6 points clear at the top. Newcastle, of course, have those 2 games in hand. Liverpool's win over West Ham keeps them third, 8 points behind Manchester United. Aston Villa remain 4th following the 3-0 defeat of Southampton, as Steve Lee was telling us about. Arsenal stay 5th despite losing at Sheffield Wednesday today. And at the other end, it's been a very good day for the bottom 2, and now it's really a question of any 3 from the bottom 5 to go down. Bolton's defeat of Chelsea is a boost to their hopes, whilst QPR have moved above Coventry after beating Everton today. A very good win for them, 3-1. Kevin Gallen, Mark Haitley, his first start for 2 months for Haitley, and Andrew Impey. Now, QPR and Coventry are both now just 1 point behind Manchester City and Southampton. Wimbledon's 3-0 defeat of Manchester City should be enough to guarantee their survival, while Sheffield Wednesday would expect to be safe with 38 points, wouldn't they? In Division 1, Derby closed the gap on leaders Sunderland to just 3 points after beating Tranmere. Derby were a goal down early on but recovered to hit 6. Paul Simpson scoring a hat-trick there. Sunderland maintained their unbeaten run, but they were held to a goalless draw by 4th-placed Charlton. Crystal Palace stay 3rd, 5 points behind the top 2 after their victory at Reading. But it was a bad day for the playoff place hopefuls Ipswich and Huddersfield as they both lost. Leicester and Stoke, of course, both play tomorrow, and they have big ambitions for that place. At the bottom end, there was no change, despite Oldham and Watford both picking up points today. Watford drew, whilst at Southend they are now 6 points adrift of Luton, while Oldham won at Port Vale. Luton play Stoke tomorrow. Into Division 2, Swindon look to have strengthened their grip on the 2nd Division Championship with a 2-0 win at promotion rivals Crewe. With Blackpool losing at home to Rotherham, Swindon are now 4 points clear with 3 games in hand. Oxford's win at Wycombe has moved them above Crewe into 3rd place. And in the lower reaches, Hull picked up a solitary point today, but there's still some 13 below the relegation line. Brighton and Swansea didn't play today, whilst Carlisle remain in the bottom 4 after their defeat at Bradford. Division 3, Preston's lead at the top has been cut to just 3 points after they were held to a goalless draw by Mansfield. 2nd place Gillingham kept alive their hopes of catching the leaders after winning away at Doncaster. Wigan jumped into 3rd after beating Hartlepool, whilst Darlington also move up the table thanks to winning a point against Cambridge. And at the bottom, poor old Torquay went down again after their 23rd league defeat of the season. That was against promotion-chasing Plymouth. Scarborough were not in action today. And into the Vauxhall Conference, good news for Torquay, as Stevenage look likely to open up a 4-point gap at the top. Still not confirmed. Stevenage, of course, would not be admitted to the Football League because of their ground, which isn't up to the league standard, but they are still nevertheless 4 goals to the good at the moment. They're winning the day's big game against 2nd place Woking, as I say, with only 7 games left to play, and they are now favourites to win the conference, but not to go up. Into the bottom, Dagenham and Redbridge won only their 6th league game of the season, but that was enough to lift them off the foot of the table as Runcorn lost. Now, there was rugby today in both codes. Let's get a full list of the results, starting with the league.
Stone Super League, Bradford Bulls, London Broncos is an evening kick-off. Leeds 24, St Helens 46, Paris Saint-Germain 24, Oldham 24. Wigan and Warrington's an evening kick-off. Workington Town 22, Sheffield Eagles 54. The First Division, Batley, Wakefield Trinity, Featherstone Rovers, Dewsbury Celtic, Huddersfield and Rochdale Hornets, all evening kick-offs. Keighley Cougars and Hull is a late result, but Widnes win 40 points to 8 against Whitehaven. In the Second Division, Carlisle 42, Lee 34, Doncaster 29, York 18. Hull Kingston Rovers 30, Hunslet 21. Prescott 20, Barrow 8. South Wales and Bramley and Swinton and Chorley both evening kickoffs. And the Heineken Welsh National League Division 1 result, Aberavon 13, Cardiff 41.
Now, three British trained runners were in the lineup for the Jameson Irish Grand National today at Fairyhouse. The 1993 Cheltenham Gold Cup winner Joe Dami, Cool Dawn and Norman Conqueror, owned of course by the Queen Mother. Now this is the betting on the off. Joe Dami definitely the first. Lord Singapore was first at 13-2 there, and Go Go Gallant at 7-1 as well. Now we'll join the race with a circuit to go. Commentary comes from Tony O'Hare.
Past the stand, Cool Dawn from Manila Lad, Go Go Gallant, and then comes Carrigain Kerrier, all safely over. Fisher Seal is not jumping at all well, having made a dreadful blunder on the far side, and they start up the hill, going now towards fence number 13, and it's Cool Dawn in the lead. From Manila Lad second, Go Go Gallant is third, Jodami's gone fourth, Flashing Steel is fifth, Lord Singapore next, then Carrigain Kerrier, Norman Conqueror and King of the Gales. Cool Dawn makes a first mistake, Lord Singapore's a faller, Lord Singapore's gone as they go towards the next ditch, fence number 14, Cool Dawn being chased by Manila Lad in second, Go Go Gallant in third, then Jodami on the outside, the green and black colours, then comes Feathered Gale making a forward move, and then Carrigain Kerrier, Flashing Steel behind them as they race towards the top of the hill. This is fence number 15, and Cool Dawn, who's made most in the lead, being chased by Manila Lad, Go Go Gallant, Flashing Steel, Jodami, then King of the Gales on the inside of Norman Conqueror, and after these is another excuse with Feathered Gale, and then Carrigain Kerrier, who's lost ground. John Ian and Son of War is last. Fisher Seal appears to have been pulled up as they reach the top of the hill. They've 8 fences left to jump, and Cool Dawn is the leader from Go Go Gallant. Then Manila Lad close in third, Jodami 4, Flashing Steel 5, Feathered Gale 6, 7, Norman Conqueror 8, Carrigain Kerrier 9 is King of the Gales. The gap then to another excuse, and John Ian and Son of War is well behind as they go down to the 7th from home, and it's Cool Dawn, closely followed now by Go Go Gallant in second, Manila Lads in third, then Flashing Steel 4, Jodami on the outside, then comes Feathered Gale, a break to Carrigain Kerrier, Norman Conqueror, and then comes King of the Gales. The final ditch, 6 fences from home. Cool Dawn, Go Go Gallant jumps to the lead, Flashing Steel blunders there, and as they come away from it, it's Go Go Gallant, the new leader, being followed in second place by Manila Lad. Third on the inner, Cool Dawn, Jodami right with them in 4, and Feathered Gale just behind the leaders. A break then to Flashing Steel and Norman Conqueror, and they're followed by King of the Gales. 5 fences left to jump. Go Go Gallant the leader, Manila Lad, Jodami still going well on the outside of Cool Dawn, who's not out of it. Manila Lad takes a chance with that one and loses ground as Cool Dawn comes away from it just in front. It's Cool Dawn who leads narrowly from Go Go Gallant, Manila Lad, then Jodami and Feathered Gale, and they're clear of Norman Conqueror and Flashing Steel with 4 fences left to jump in the Irish National. And it's Cool Dawn from Go Go Gallant, Jodami still with plenty left in him on the outside. Here's Pick, jumps it well, Manila Lad's a faller, and it's Cool Dawn now from Go Go Gallant and Jodami on the outside as they come towards the 3rd last fence in the Jameson Irish National. And it's Cool Dawn back in front from Go Go Gallant, Jodami right with them. The only other one with a chance is Feathered Gale, a long way back then to another excuse as they jump to 3rd last. And it's Cool Dawn from Go Go Gallant, Jodami on the outside, Feathered Gale in 4, and it's a distance back to another excuse as they swing for home. They've 2 fences left to jump, and it's Cool Dawn being tackled by Jodami. Then comes Go Go Gallant and Feathered Gale in the noseband. Down to the 2nd last, Jodami, ears pricked on the near side. On the far side, Cool Dawn. Feathered Gale just behind them, and racing now to the final fence. It's on the near side, Feathered Gale and Jodami. Over on the far side is Cool Dawn. Back in 4th place, Go Go Gallant. Feathered Gale and Franny Woods, the near side of Jodami and Mark Dwyer at the last. Feathered Gale 3rd last year. Over in front from Jodami in 2nd and 3rd place. Behind these is Cool Dawn, but Feathered Gale is the leader as they race into the closing stages. Arthur Moore's going to win his first Irish National as a trainer. It's a 2nd success in the race for Franny Woods. Feathered Gale, 3rd last year, strides up to the line. The winner as Franny salutes the crowd. Jodami, a big run, 2nd, beaten about 8 lengths. Cool Dawn is 3rd. Go Go Gallant is 4th.
Well, were you on it? First, Feathered Gale, 8-1. 2nd, Jodami at 5-1. 3rd, Cool Dawn at 15-2. And 4th, Go Go Gallant at 7-1. Let's clear up that late result. Stevenage confirmed as a result, 4-0 over Woking. and that means that they are 4 points clear at the top in the conference. The pool's news: telephone claims are required for 23 points or over, so could it be a lucky Easter for you? I don't know. Well, it's been an Easter weekend in which Cambridge won the boat race and Manchester United are 6 points to the good, for a couple of hours at least. From us, goodbye.
In a year when this man dreams of one moment of sporting glory, BBC television and radio bring you thousands. In a year of passion. In a year of celebration.
What a party they've got ahead tonight.
When the young test their strength on the Thames and the brave run their hearts out on the shore. In a year of tall fences and high fashion. Of Augusta in April, Royal Lytham in July. Blowing ice cold in the crucible, but red hot on the track. And as centre court rises in salute of the greats.
On top of the tennis world.
England's cricketers are put to the test.
He's got him.
In 1996, a year of superb sporting action, BBC Television brings the major national and international events live to the whole nation.
And with unique nationwide coverage on BBC Radio, you can be part of the action wherever you are, whatever you're doing.
In a year when England hosts the European Football Championship, the biggest sporting event held here since 1966.
BBC Sport will be there with England against Scotland exclusively live.
And in the year of the greatest sports show on earth, the Olympic Games, BBC Sport will be there.
That is fantastic, and it's legal. BBC Sport, the team that you trust, the memories we'll all share.